Spoiler alert, I crashed. Meep merp. Well, let's go back to the beginning and see how I ended up here. Welcome, everybody, to the Barber Motorsports Park Grand National Finals for WERA, October 2025. For those that don't know, WERA is the racing organization. Grand National Finals is the season finale, and it is an invitation-only event. It is not entirely exclusive. Even though it's by invite, you get invited for having participated in WERA races at any point throughout the season, which I did. So I got invited. This is my first time here, my first Barber experience. It was amazing. The facilities, the track, all the sculptures and everything. It's incredible. It was really, really cool to be there. Just a top-notch facility. Today, this video is my C, meaning 600cc bikes, Superstock race. So we got Earl Roberts in front of us there in the blue. He's really about the only one I know on the grid because he is from Michigan, and this is a nationwide event. You can tell he gets an incredible launch, which he normally does. He's a former motocross guy. He's just got that touch on the clutch lever. So I started in 4th position, coming into turn 1 here. I got a decent launch. You can see those first 5 really kind of jumped out in front. They're in their own class, kind of. They're in my class, but they're another class of rider. Another one sweeps past me on the inside here. Then I start doing my best to kind of try to hold them off after this. So that puts us in, let's see, 7th place. Like I said, it's my first time at Barber, considering there was one practice day and then I did the endurance race the day before. It was really my only time here. So coming out of Charlotte's Web, really hard on the gas. Full gas all the way to the 3 board. Start to tip in. Hop over the curbing. Slow right-hander through Museum. Try to get to wide open throttle. That was one thing I noticed throughout the first 2 days, that I just was not getting to wide open throttle soon enough. I was being too ginger with it, and it's hard, I guess. You don't know where the limits are, you know. This is still super early for me, so you don't know where the limits are for the tire, for a lot of it. So you end up being really cautious, which is a good thing, but definitely not the fastest way around the racetrack. That was probably my biggest goal for this race, was to figure out how to get that throttle open sooner, wide open. Alright, so let me talk you through my track notes for a full lap here. A wide open throttle, grab another gear, full tuck. We're going to start braking at the 4 board. Rumble strip start, we're going to tip in, trail brake to the apex, straighten it out, shoot for the second set of rumble strips here, turn 2. And then bring it back in tight for the next set of rumble strips. Push out wide, exit apex is that next curbing. Bring it in, keep an eye out for the timing tower, that's what you're aiming for. Bring it all the way over to the right, start braking at the 4 board. Grab a downshift, grab a downshift. Push out a little wide. I got somebody there for that one, so I can't go as wide as I'd like to, but full throttle, grab a shift, full throttle, grab another shift. Stay on full throttle till the 3 board, hit the 3, start braking, tip in at the start of the rumble strips to the left, come over this bit of curbing. As soon as the bike settles, tip in again, slow corner. Try to get the bike straightened up as much as you can, get to wide open throttle again as soon as possible. Drift it back over to the right and hug the right side of the track, maxing out 3rd gear, roll off the throttle, come in, brush the rumble strips, switch back to the right, brush the rumble strips, come out of there, push to the far side rumble strips, and then back into full throttle. 4, 3, 2, 1, downshift, and then tip in. Start of the rumble strips there, switch it back over to the right. Hit that apex as you climb the hill, looking for a flagpole in the distance so you don't wander off track. Staying in the throttle, brush those rumble strips, staying in it, and then you start to roll out just as you tip in and sharpen up that corner. Again, brush the rumble strips, should come all the way back to the right to the other side of that seam seal, and then grab a downshift, switch it back to the left, and full throttle again as soon as you can for the straight. Now I'll shut up for a minute and just let you enjoy some of this Leo Vinci titanium exhaust. see our delta in the bottom there in green, about 1.6, 1.7 seconds faster than the lap before. So first lap was a 147, second lap a 145.2. Now we're shaving off another good chunk of time here, a 143.4. Prior to this race, my fastest lap of the weekend was a 145, 146, I think. So to come into the race and start laying down a 145 and then shave 2 full seconds off and hit that 143, that was a pretty big deal. That was a huge success. Obviously, I'm figuring out how to get to wide open throttle sooner, and how to string some of these corners together so the track can flow the way it's supposed to. And it took me all weekend, Thursday, Friday, and now Saturday to be able to make that happen. But that was a huge piece of chunk of progress for me. Obviously, that's an issue that is important to have figured out at more than just this track, how to get to wide open throttle sooner. And you got to fight that part of your brain that is concerned with safety and self-preservation, and trust the tires and see everyone else around you doing it and know that you can do it too, and that you won't crash and you'll be okay. See, when they passed me, they gave me a little wave there. That was a little bit of a close one, but really not at all compared to what Josh Hayes gave me in the endurance race yesterday. I'll take it though. It was a nice gesture. Got a good drive out of the final corner there and cut down that delta a little bit. About 3-4 tenths slower on that lap, but still laying down another 143, so no complaints there. Really happy with that progress in that time. You can see I can start to reel them in a little bit on some of these corners, and keeping that gap to a minimum. You see our delta is another half second up, 0.56, 0.57. So I feel like I'm starting to make some progress, starting to line them up a little bit for hopefully pass them and get that spot back here soon. Closed a lot of distance there. You can see the delta really come down too. Able to hold some throttle for longer and maintain a lot more roll speed through those that final sector. So at this point, to knock off another 1.5 seconds was mind-blowing. That was epic. That was a crazy, just a mega lap to be able to put down a 141. Yeah, I was super hopeful by the beginning of this trip to dip my toe into the 30s, like a 139.9. So for it to be still Saturday and for me to hit a 141.9 during this race was huge. And then you see my delta at the bottom there, still shaving off some time. Not at the moment. Spoke too soon. Nuts. But dabbling with shaving off some time. Obviously my exit from Charlotte's there was not what I needed, but still in the realm of another 141. So here we go, we're green again. Hell yeah. So we're flirting with another 4 tenths here. 141.5 would have probably maybe been this lap. But Had to put her down. Just lost the front coming through that last corner. Combination of factors. I noticed this weekend I had my weight a little bit further back than I did at Nelson, the race prior. So I needed to get my weight up a little bit further on the bike. Had a pretty worn front tire. It wasn't super worn, but I had a few heat cycles on it. All in all though, super stoked to have that 141. Made a ton of progress this week. Walked away from this crash with a little bit of a banged up bike. No scrapes, bumps, bruises, nothing, just a fluke broken toe. So I will take the toe. Happy camper, good weekend, awesome race, great time. Thanks for watching.